Hey there. Welcome to the Natural Medic Adventures. You're coming to this video wanting to know more about the Kisatchie Hills Wilderness and the Backbone Trail. Go to the Forest Service website, or you can just type in Kisatchie Wilderness Area in your browser. It will take you to this page. You go to Home, then you go to Recreation, and it expands all this, and click on the hiking. So the Kisatchie Hills Wilderness Area, it has one main trail in the area. There are a couple other trails as well. It's 8,700 acres of forest, and it's very unusual because it's very steep and rugged for Louisiana. You think about Louisiana, you think about swamps, you think about flat terrain, cypress trees, Spanish moss, that kind of stuff. But this is totally unusual for this type of terrain for the state. The trail itself, I will show you a map of it, but here are the directions basically right here. But you can also type in to Google the Caroline Dorman Trailhead. That is the southern trailhead, and that should get you where you need to go. The best guide that I've found is on LouisianaHikes.com, and he's got some good information on there. Got a complete guide here that can be found at LouisianaHikes.com. He's got a little video and some pictures. It shows you how rocky and rugged it is. As mentioned in the video, you will see that the only reliable water source is the Bayou Cypress. Some nice vistas and everything out there on the trail. The trail map right there. The northern trailhead is right here. The southern trailhead is right here. If you have just one vehicle, you can park here, go all the way around, and road walk back. Or if you have two vehicles, which I was lucky enough to have, you park one there, you park one there. Save your little road walk distance. Let's take a look at the footage. Alright, here I am at the Kisatchie Hills Wilderness Area, Kisatchie National Forest, just outside of Natchitoches, Louisiana, and I'm about to do the Backbone Trail. It is a 7.8 mile trail, mostly a loop trail, but it is a point to point unless you do the road walk for 3 miles. Let's see what's down the trail. When you begin hiking on the trail, you will notice there are lots and lots of pine trees. Later on in the trail, there are what's known as a lot of longleaf pine trees. They used to be more widespread, but they're very common in this area. And later on in the trek, I will show you some. The trail is very sandy in this part. It will get rocky a little bit. And what I've researched and what I know about this trail, it reminds me a little bit of like Southwest Arkansas, where I've done some other backpacking trips recently. When you're hiking on the Backbone Trail, you will see remnants of rock. Kind of unusual. You don't think about rock when you're in Louisiana. And I'm not a geologist, I'm a forester, but I know a little bit of geology, just enough to be dangerous. And this, I believe, is a sandstone rock. You can see the layers of the rock stacked up. And of course the theory is, no one was around to see this, but the theory is this was all silt laid down during an ancient ocean. This is a more durable type of rock that lasted here in central or north central Louisiana. You may hear me huffing and puffing, because this is the first of many little climbs, I think. But look at all these rocks. Aren't they cool? You wouldn't think you'd come to Louisiana and see a bunch of rocks, but here they are. Pretty amazing. If you start at the north trailhead, you will come to a junction of the Backbone Trail and the High Ridge Trail. You may see horses. Just passed a bunch of horses, about 8 people riding horses going the other direction. But the Backbone Trail continues back, of course, that way. And it goes this way. If you want to continue the Backbone, go this way. If you're lucky, you might see some wildlife. Got a little woodpecker up there going to town. Can't quite tell what he is exactly, but he is enjoying his day. Hey, here's another climb. You can see it's not Arkansas or anything like that, but for Louisiana, it's pretty steep. And because of the horses that just came through here, it's rough. So don't think it's all flat Louisiana swamps around here. Packing up camp the next day. Got to camp in this area right above the, I would call it a creek, but we're in Louisiana. I believe it's called Bayou, hopefully I'm saying it right, Bayou Supre. And for Louisiana, the water is pretty clear. And I filtered a bag of it so far. It's really good. You can see there's lots of nice campgrounds in the vicinity of or lots of camping areas, excuse me, in the vicinity of the creek. You're not too far from water. Lots of flat surfaces. Not really a fire ring, but there are places people have had fires. So always with fire, be very careful. It doesn't get away from you. It has rained a lot lately over in this area, so fire danger is super low. But it always is a possibility of something that could break out if it's not attended properly. Okay, Mr. Tim from Backpacking with Buckley. I carried my Ozark Trailster just for you, my man. It's done pretty good. It's not as comfortable as my other pack, but it'll work. Anybody else watching this that hasn't seen my video review of Walmart backpacking gear, I will link it in the description below. You can definitely do this with not a whole lot of money down and still have a good time and be comfortable. Through the magic of editing, we're going to fast forward through the water gathering part. Just remember that Bayou Supre is the only reliable water source on the Backbone Trail. We have our Cnoc bag with water in it. And here's the cool thing. Turn it upside down. Attach your Sawyer filter. Micro, mini, or squeeze. Just goes on just like that. And then you can take your bottle of choice. In this case I have a smart water bottle type. It's not exactly a smart water bottle. And it, by gravity, filters the water. Just like this. Now with the micro and the mini, it's going to be slower, of course, than the squeeze. But it's still not too much different than using a squeeze, which it works faster because it has a larger volume. The technology inside that filters the water is the same. It's just there's more of it and it's a bigger volume going through on the squeeze compared to the micro or the mini. In my timing, I have done about 2 minutes for a liter of water. So it doesn't really take that long. With the squeeze, you may be able to get under a minute and a half, maybe closer to a minute. But in my opinion, not a big difference. That's something you can think about when you're looking for filters and that kind of good stuff. Hope that helps. So coming down the Backbone Trail, we've already seen Bayou. You can see all the butterflies flying around. Very pretty. You're going to cross the trail here. It is going to be a wet crossing, so if you like water shoes, bring some water shoes. Camping for the night, last night, was over there on that little bluff area behind the big magnolia tree. Right behind the big magnolia tree right there. If you want to continue on the trail, here's where I'm headed now. Just go down this way. Got about between 3 and 4 miles left today. It should come out at the south trailhead. And unless you have a shuttle vehicle or 2 vehicles, you will have to road walk back to the other side if you started at the north side. Anyway, that's what's going on. Okay, walking across I guess it's like a side stream of the bayou. Nice clear water, but you got a nice bridge to go across. Very cool. Looks like that's a campsite right there. Nice site. A little fire ring. Very cool. Some magnolias of some type. I'm not sure if that's regular southern magnolia or a different species, but very pretty. The trail goes this way. Let's keep going. First climb of the day up a little embankment. So it's not just flat Louisiana on this trail. They do call it the Backbone Trail for a reason. Had a couple of these climbs yesterday, but here is one from today, and it appears to keep going to this ridge top up here. So, pardon my huffing and puffing, it's a little bit of a climb. So, if you come here, keep that in mind. You're not going to be flat the whole time. You're going to go up. But climbs like these will make you wonder if you're in Louisiana and you're not in some other state, like Arkansas. Or it's a heck of a climb for this area of the country. I would guess probably 7,500 foot elevation gain, maybe a little bit more, but it's pretty rough. And some horses went down it yesterday, so it was a little mucky and muddy and slippery. It took a little bit to get up there. Gonna take a little bit of a rest and continue down the trail. All right, further down the trail, maybe about a mile left. There is some more water places as of right now, which is late March 2022. In the summertime, later in the spring, there may not be water here. But right now there is. It looks pretty clear. Always filter your water, of course. And right here at the base where this water is, you have another climb. So, off we go. If you're coming the way that I came on the trail, you have this one area here where it's just a big open forest of longleaf pine. You can see them in different stages down the hill there. And you have this big long climb, for this part of the world, to the top. And the parking lot is just going to be right behind me, about another, probably about a quarter of a mile is my guess from the map on my app and the one in my paper one in my pocket. So once you get to this last climb that's open and sandy, you're almost back at Caroline Dormond. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end of the episode. I definitely appreciate that. It takes a lot of effort to make these episodes every week. The best way to show your appreciation is to give me a thumbs up to show you got value from the video. It helps to get out to other people on YouTube. I really enjoyed going on this trail. It's definitely not like the rest of Louisiana. You think of Louisiana, you think of swamps, you think of alligators, cypress trees, that kind of stuff. That's not there. This is a rugged trail rated as moderate. It's not very long, but it's definitely worth checking out if you're ever in the area. I did enjoy a hobo dinner after the first day of hiking at the campsite. It looked like this, and it was great. Tasted so good after a long day of hiking. If you come to this location, make sure you watch the weather closely. In the winter and springtime, it is possible for this part of Louisiana to get snow and ice. So it could make conditions a little treacherous for travel. In the springtime, usually there's a lot of thunderstorms that come through. In the summer, of course, there is heat in the 90s and 100s, along with humidity and bugs. So plan accordingly. The only reliable water source for the whole area, you may have seen some other streams in my video, but I came in March, and in the drier times of the year where it hasn't rained, they may not be available. Be prepared to haul some water if you need to, because the other ones that I showed in the video may not be there in the hotter, drier times of the year. Please leave your comments below if you have any, or any questions about the trail itself. I'd love to see those. Thanks so much again for watching. Take care, be safe and happy. I'll see you on the trail. Till next time.